It's the hot guy detour. The hot guy detour. The hot guy detour.
One thing I love in the Hot Guy Detour sound drop is how the
10 minutes, 10 minutes, and we got a Hot Guy Detour.
We get wow. I mean, listen, when it's just me and you, we get right down to it. As two hetero cisgendered men,
Right.
we gotta talk about how attracted to men we are. Lime, duh. Yeah. Let's do it again, baby. Let's go. Whoa. Welcome to the Comedians of Wrestling podcast, a podcast where comedians dissect wrestling to an unhealthy degree. I am your host, the host with the most, baby!
Fashion!
Viral stand-up about professional wrestling, Tim Black.
I'm not a perfect person.
A.K.A. Donsky of Black Amora, a.k.a. Donnie Capri from that time I went to Italy.
Around Mushmore.
1, 2, is this on?
Yeah, hit me with some of that Triple H. You let the music hit. It's the dumb shit.
Yo, tell me whose time it is now.
A.k.a. the modern day goof and spoof Raja, coming at you like Cleopatra. Baby, gabba wee.
Gabba wee.
Yeah.
Gabba
Oh,
gabba
yeah. Gabba wee.
Gabba
Yo, I was
wee.
rewatching
Gabba,
Howard
gabba,
Stern
gabba,
in private parts going gabba wee. Oh, it's so funny. This girl, she's mine. And hum.
This is hot garbage.
Damn. She's fine.
I should have known better, dude.
What up, jabroniacs? We're back in action for your satisfaction with all of our spicy, muy caliente wrestling reactions. We did it. The intro is over. The wrestling talk begins. How do you feel about that? I feel great. Let's do it. Can you tell that I got my second Moderna shot? And I'm down, baby. It's like Charlotte Flair this week leveled up. She leveled up. I leveled down a little bit. I got a 24-hour level down. Anyway, he's here. Let me introduce him before I go into it. We're kicking it old school again here. We are kicking it old school. Look at this, baby. It is me and the nasty one, Mr. Nasty Newman Hagen in the house. Alex Newman.
How about it?
What is up, my dude?
Not much. Just got a guy using a weed whacker 3 feet from my window.
They are always weed whacking.
Do you have to be vigilant
folks,
against
I hate to sound like Brian Regan here, but is it me or are they always weed whacking?
There's always
I've never even seen a weed.
Someone weed whacking.
There's weed whacking.
What's his voice? What's his voice that he
know.
does? The Jim Gaffigan is like the.
He goes to Jim Gaffigan invented like a brilliant way to just like accentuate his jokes by just commenting on it immediately in a falsetto
as the audience. Yeah.
Yeah, where he's just like, and then I ate that Hot Pocket, and then he's like, why would he eat a Hot Pocket? And you're like, what a great idea. Like, your joke doesn't even need to be good.
Right.
I mean, he has good jokes also. He's a talented guy.
Right.
But also, he could just be like, and then I said, hello, how are you? Why would he say that? That's funny, right? Like, you right? That's fun.
Never bombed,
great.
too. Never bombed.
Because it's to be honest, it's breaking the fourth wall, right? Like, it's a cheat, really. It's a crutch, but he sounds so funny that it works.
What's
know?
crazy, though, is now when he does it, though, it's all I hear is like it's definitely now become like it's literally after
thinks he's skinny.
everything he says, he
Yeah.
does that, and it's like,
Yeah.
all right.
I mean, it's never not funny. It's just something he found that's just always funny, right? Like it's
His, I think, I had
what
read.
makes him what?
He said that his wife writes almost all
Yeah,
of his
him
jokes.
and his wife write all their jokes each day. They write together, and I think she's like very involved in writing his jokes. So very cool. But why are we talking about Jim Gaffigan? Because he has got a whole wrestling thing going on, right?
Oh, does he?
No, of just being like
Oh.
having he essentially has like a fucking devil on his shoulder, right?
Right, yeah, his gimmick is that, yeah.
Yeah, he's
Yes.
got to give it.
Um,
Oh man,
no, we said
Can-
Jim Gaffigan came from another stand-up or something, and then who cares?
We did it, folks. Can you tell the lull times that are professional wrestling right now, while still not being lull times? Some very
Lull
interesting
times,
things going
Dan.
on.
Everyone's talking about it. Eva Marie is back.
Are you ready for the evolution?
How
Have you
could this
prepared?
be lull
Have you
times?
battened down the hatches for the evolution?
I'll tell you what's not true.
What?
That nobody is talking about this. That nobody cares. Nobody's going to
Yeah.
be excited. No
Yeah.
one is affected emotionally by her return. That none of that's true. People are talking. There's lots of buzz.
Here's what I'll say. Okay, there is no buzz for Eva Marie. I completely agree. Okay, now did I know that was gonna rhyme? I didn't. But did it feel good when it happened? It did. But what I'll say is that I adore when Corey Graves loses his shit over hot chicks.
Yeah, it is funny.
It's the guy's sweating like he's fucking like when the wolf. You
Shut
know,
up, Cole. I've
his
got
eyes-
a boner.
Yeah. Like if any hot chick comes out of the ramp, he's like, "Oh my god! Like I can't even control myself. Did somebody turn up the fucking thermostat in here?"
Yeah.
He's like patting down his head. He's like, "Oh my god, I'm in heaven." It's so funny to like see a hot chick and just fucking lose it. You start heating up. It's
Yeah,
still funny.
He's
It's
basically
always-
Pepe Le Pew, right?
You know, fucking Austin Powers would go. Oh, yeah, Pepe Le Pew. You see a hot one. Oh, I'll always be a sucker for that shit. Anyway, I actually have, so whatever, we say lull times, but what I meant to say is that like it's lull on what I would say is lull times on Raw specifically. Raw is extremely lully right now. Raw is like Raw was rough to watch. It had some stuff that I dug, but Raw was a rough watch this week for me, I'll say. But I really enjoyed a lot of SmackDown this week. And if you focused on AEW and NXT, there's some fun shit going on. So what's going on in wrestling is really interesting, which is like if you watch the right shit, wrestling is amazing right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But if you're trying to cram it all, it's going to hurt you. But I guess that's how it's always going now. Before we get into it, though, because I have some stuff to say, I would like to let everyone know I did miss the Patreon episode last week. I want to let you know that we're going to make that up to you this week. I already recorded an episode for you guys with the star of Wipeout on TBS, the star of Nailed It on Netflix, Ms. Nicole BYER. I had her on the podcast. We'll put that out maybe on Monday. I'll put that out on the main feed, I think, for everybody, so everyone can get a taste of Nicole BYER. Plus, she's plugging Wipeout, so I wanted her to come on and do that. But great conversation with her. Part of the conversation was me having her Google wrestlers and see if she would bone them.
Can you give us a preview of not her responses, but some of the guys that or gals
Yeah.
that-
I actually have a list here. You want to hear the list of guys that I had her look up?
Yeah.
She looked up Randy Orton, obviously,
Okay.
Angel Garza,
Okay.
Keith Lee, Brock Lesnar, Bobby Lashley, Roman Reigns. I had Nicole looking at all of them. It was a great
I'm gonna
time.
guess. I'm gonna guess yes to all of them
I cannot confirm or deny. I cannot confirm or
because
deny.
that's my answer.
Yeah. Let's just say she was cool. You know what I Let's just say her and I are cut from the same cloth. If you know what I'm saying.
Gotcha.
It's the hot guy detour. The hot guy detour. The hot guy detour.
One thing I love in the Hot Guy Detour sound drop is how
10 minutes. 10 minutes. And we got a Hawkeye detour.
We get wow. I mean, listen, when it's just me and you, we get right down to it. As two hetero cisgendered men,
Right.
we got to talk about how attracted to men we are. That's just how it's gonna go. You know what I'm saying? I adore this podcast.
Yeah.
Is it okay to just like your own I'm like, this podcast, I would listen to it. I always say I would listen to this thing. This thing fucking rules. You know? Oh, man. Anyway, so it made up for you. But listen, I'm just going to say this in general. Some weeks with the Patreon, some weeks we'll miss. You know, most weeks we don't. Most weeks we do. If we do, I make it up to you guys. But, like, you know what? We bust our ass on this podcast. Some weeks I get a little burnt out, or the scheduling gets all fucked up, or I need a little mental health day, or whatever the hell it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so,
Maybe
just know
the
we're never
rule-
forgetting about you. Because sometimes I get a message from you guys, which is like, are you not doing bonus episodes anymore? I'm like, yo, dude, I missed 1 out of 52. You know what I mean?
Maybe the rule is if you miss one, it has to be released on the main feed.
Should we lock it in?
Lock it in.
This feels like a rule that I'm going to forget instantly, but we're
I
still
won't.
locking. It's getting locked in. It's getting locked in. All right, we lock it in. All right. Also, this Sunday we have the Calzoom Thunderdome. We'll be watching WrestleMania Backlash together. I'll post that Saturday. I'll post a link so we can watch the pay-per-view together. That'll be a good time. And the Cal Movie Club. Erin was supposed to be here right now to talk about the Cal Movie Club, but her Spectrum internet went out. Everybody, Spectrum, not a sponsor of the show. You know, this is a sponsor of the show, though.
Monday Night Raw is presented by Southern New Hampshire University.
That's right, everybody. Did anyone see that and go like, I think I'm going to go to Southern New Hampshire University?
I want to
Do
study
colleges need
agriculture.
ad campaigns? You know what I mean? Isn't it kind of like, I can only get in there? You know what I mean?
I don't know. I would be guessing on how the marketing department works at a state university.
Southern New Hampshire University, like the dean got together and was like, listen, numbers are down.
Yeah.
Okay? People are not enrolling
I think
here.
it's an online school.
So
Why don't they
it's-
call
it's
it
a
online?
scam.
Why do they keep pretending they're affiliated with a state? Like, why is it like we're the University of Phoenix, but with no partying, no chicks?
Yeah.
You know, it's like it's just you do it from your mom's basement.
There was a
No,
campus. There was
call
a
it
fucking
online U, right?
there-
Call it
there was
OU.
There was a fucking the University of Phoenix campus in like Levittown where I grew up. Like, like imagine being I go to University of Phoenix, Levittown satellite, no big deal.
I go to University of Phoenix online.
It's by
and
the
also,
pub.
why choose Phoenix? Like, fine. Why don't you be the University of Antarctica if there's no campus? You know what I mean?
University of Titan.
Yeah, this is you. This is my online university. You know what it's called?
Yeah. What?
Atlantis.
Oh,
Okay,
nice.
it's called.
Nice.
It's fucking 5,000 leagues below the sea. Or
I have one. I have my online school. I'm starting up. It's
are you? You're starting one up
yeah.
also?
Yeah,
competing
yeah.
with me. Interesting.
Yeah, it's Southern Walmart University, and it's based entirely in the Walmart infrastructure.
That sounds awesome. There, I guys. Actually, I have your. I had the school's chant here. It's always storming here over at Southern Walmart University. All right, listen. That all being said, we're doing great work for you guys. Now, before guys, we're killing it. Okay, I just want to let you guys know that we're fucking killing it.
This is
okay?
going great.
Things are going great here. This is a wrestling podcast. You already got all the important news. I have a lot to talk about this week, but yeah, I'm not getting. We're not going through every segment of Raw. Don't worry. Head on over to your favorite blogosphere for that. But let's check my phone. Let's do the meme check. See if I got
All
any memes in the tank.
We need to
You know?
figure out a better way to get these on screen.
Yeah, I know. It's really easy. I'm just an idiot.
All right.
All right. I could just text it to Phil and he could probably just share it. But instead, for this week, Starting next week, we'll do it.
Next week we'll do that. Yeah. Just send them to me before the.
This one, I got a couple. So everyone knows I love.
Well, it's
I
not
don't,
live. Right?
Everyone knows that I don't love memes, right?
Right. You hate memes.
I'm not a huge meme guy, but wrestling memes are maybe one of my favorite things in the universe.
Are you known as not to cut this down, but are you known as a not meme guy? Because I think I might regard you as a meme guy.
Around the world, I'm known as not a meme guy. No, I think I am very much a meme guy.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that is true. You just called me out on my bullshit. Thank you, Newman, for calling me out on my fucking bullshit.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Thank you for
Thank you for
holding the space. Thank you for holding the space to allow me to call you out on your bullshit.
I'll tell you what everybody's becoming. Yeah, no, and obviously I appreciate you and that you don't hold back on me being dishonest with my audience. You know, everyone is a TikTok person now, right? Is that fair to say? I mean, not that you do TikTok, but I feel like everyone's enjoying TikToks.
Okay, fair.
I get a lot of TikToks sent to me. Are you getting TikToks sent to you?
No. The most time when I see a TikTok, it's by accident because someone screen captured it on like Instagram or something. Or, but no, I don't. Or it's like, what do you call it? That Tom Segura's podcast where they'll like make fun of people on TikTok.
Now, it's interesting because I feel like they're making these apps like something like a TikTok. They've created it where the app does the way the app is designed and the way that it edits, like it does a lot of the comedy for you, right? So it's like, okay, they'll show something, then it cuts to you quick.
Right.
So you don't have to be that funny. You know what I mean?
No,
now,
I would venture that you don't have to be funny at all.
Right. And that's an interesting thing I noticed. But then every once in a while, like that IKEA thing was funny. Did you see the IKEA guy on TikTok?
Oh, yeah.
That was funny. I was like, this is a good TikTok. But I don't really know why I'm talking about TikTok per se. But, I don't know. Everyone keeps sending me TikToks
Memes.
is what I'm saying at this point. Memes. Okay.
It's because Instagram started Reels. So then, like, you're getting it. Like TikTok started seeping into Instagram, so it's just like all the same shit on both apps now.
Right. It just a reel will have a TikTok emblem because they copied it from TikTok, right?
Also, it's a lot. Yeah. It's a lot of like jokes, almost like jokes are now like jazz standards, in that everybody just kind of does their version of the same joke, and it's not like you're ripping somebody off. It's just that it's like
it's templates of comedy, and so it's like so uninteresting to me. It's like there's that one template which is it's the
I'm
one
not
the
elevating
IKEA guy
TikTok
uses.
to jazz. I'm just saying it's like there's like templates.
Wasn't jazz the opposite?
Yeah, but I mean,
like no
there's
template?
like standards, but like bluegrass too. There's standards. There's country standards where it's like everybody just sings these songs. There's like a billion different versions. All the country artists do these like old. Yeah, exactly. This is a country standard. This was written in the Appalachian Mountains in 1902.
That's it.
Bob Dylan, most of his songs. What, he got 3 songs?
Yeah.
So anyway,
it's like I've seen people who. Oh yeah, what were you saying?
No, I'm saying it's that's what I meant by standard. It's like it's sort of understood that like there's going to be a billion of this same joke, and you're not ripping off the person that did it before, right?
Right. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, let's get to these memes because I can talk about the TikToking forever. But this fucking wrestling meme is pretty good. Okay.
Right.
I know I sent it to you, but it's this one.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
And it's, I believe, is this Marlon Wayans? One of the Wayans bros. Okay. And it's from, I believe this is from Scary Movie 2, where it's like, it's him, he's wearing a wife beater, right? And he's looking jacked up. And then it cuts to, it's side by side with Wayans with it tied up like he's a woman, like where it's like a sexy top. And he's kind of has like more feminine stance. Mm-hmm. And then it says, me singing both parts in Sexy Boy. I mean, that's so fucking funny.
Yeah. I've been trying to figure out if it's homophobic.
Oh. Dude, I know it's sexy.
I've got the looks, the drive, I've got the moves,
I said chills. And then this is it.
My favorite part. The
Because
synth.
I'm just a sexy boy. Sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. Boy toy. I'm just a sexy boy. Sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. What a fucking song. This song is
It's,
so fucking
yeah.
funny.
sensational Sherry on backup.
Is it?
vocals.
Is it? Or is it
That's her.
Sean?
That's her.
It's not
That's her.
Sean?
That's her.
Are
Yeah,
you
no.
sure it's her?
Yeah.
Because I know she has her own version of it, right?
That was the first one.
Right.
The first version of it has her super featured on it, and then this one they kept her chorus, but he sings it.
Fun fact: you saying if this meme's homophobic or not? Just to point out is that this part is extremely homophobic in the movie.
Right.
If you remember this role,
does
he
this shirt
essentially
make me look gay, right, or something like that?
And then he's like
No.
tucked or untucked, and then
Right.
it's his dick out or on that, which that's actually funny. But the whole thing is that this guy's essentially is a closeted gay guy who's like sexually assaulting all of his teammates on the football team, if you remember.
Oh my god, I forgot.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
Yeah. All right, here's another one.
Jesus
Okay.
Christ.
So here's the thing. You said this one wasn't funny. No. I said this one wasn't funny, and you were
I think
like,
it's
"Are
funny.
you kidding me?
Yeah, it's
this
hilarious.
is hilarious." And
Yeah.
then I conceded. Okay, fine. I say it's hilarious now too.
Yeah. I do agree though that it's a good punch up that you
Yeah,
had.
it's not there, but it's another of these Roman Reigns memes where it's it's Kirsten Dunst as MJ from Spider-Man with hanging out with Tobey Maguire. She's like holding his face. I believe this is the end of the first movie where he tells her he is Spider-Man. No?
I don't remember.
Okay. Anyway, and she's looking at him crying, and she's like, it's 3 panels, and she's like, tell me the truth. I'm ready to hear it. And then it cuts to his face, and it says, I acknowledge Roman Reigns as the head of the table. And then the last slide is what sells it. It's her with that like cry of acceptance, like when they're like
Yeah.
listen, I don't love you anymore. You know, like
yeah.
I, it's like I don't feel the same way anymore. Look at that, like that. And it's like,
It's great.
now, the whole thing of acknowledging Roman Reigns. It's what a this is my thing went out of focus. All right, what a great branding for him that they found. You know,
Yeah. You're still super out of focus.
I know it got so in focus on her.
Yeah. Try to move your face.
Anyway. Phil, how do I fix this? Do we got the smooth operator? How do I fix this, Phil?
You're
I
doing
blur
the right
you.
thing, just hold your hand there longer. Just like let it black it out. Okay.
Okay.
Take it away. Take it away.
Hey!
There he is.
Yeah, that album rips, dude. I was listening to it like a month or two ago.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you an album that I think rips that I've been rocking out. It does that album. Wait, that whole Stank album rips?
Yeah, it's really
Really?
good. It's really good. Yeah. I went back to it. I hadn't listened to it for like a decade. Or
I
more.
only know those 2 songs by them, but I will give that album a
No,
listen.
it's good.
Because I realized, and we've talked about this many times before, is that my music now,
Mhm.
aside from the obvious, the two kings of music, Dave Matthews and John Mayer, obviously the 2 kings.
Right.
Okay. It's my music is now music that was a punchline in the 2010s. Okay.
Gotcha.
And so it's all early new metal. Like I
Right.
love that. Some of it pop punk. You know what I mean? Any of that. For example, right now in a Fall Out Boy zone. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That album, Infinity on High. I remember when it came out.
Yeah.
I can listen to this thing all the way through on
peaked-
repeat.
They peaked at From Under a Cork Tree. That was their peak. And
Okay.
from there, it was a steep decline.
Oh my God. This album is Infinity on High from 2007. Whatever. Like it or hate it. I love it, baby. I'm going
Yeah.
to walk my dogs and listen to it. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to listen to it.
It's
And,
Madden. It's Madden pause menu music.
I didn't say I have a good taste.
No.
I just said I know what I like.
A lot of whoa-oh-ohs and yeah-yeah-yeahs.
Whoa! oh, oh, yo, wubba, yo, oh, way, yo.
Yeah.
Whoa. Oh, this is essentially a Fall Out Boy song, right?
Yeah. Or, I mean,
I'll give you one preview of the BYER episode. She said she is into Brock Lesnar.
yeah.
Which I was like, Nicole, you're my hero. I mean, yeah, he's the hottest guy in the world.
Well, plus, too,
right.
it's like, I mean, how do you not, if you have the opportunity, it's like, he's like, that build only comes around every 1,000 or so years, right? So when are you going to get your next shot? You have to take it.
If Brock Lesnar wants to pork, you fucking saddle up. All right, folks?
Yeah. Shuffle up and deal.
That's right. When you hear that, that was gonna be so filthy. I just had to let it go.
Two things are coming. Brock Lesnar and Jimmy John's after.
Oh my God, imagine you hear this and you're like, the mating begins.
Paul Heyman. Secure yourself to the mating chair.
You will be fucked. Then it's not a prediction. It's a spoiler. All right. Here's another meme, okay? Ready? And then we'll get into wrestling. Although we're already in wrestling. Did you see this one? You heard about this, folks?
I mean, that's one of my favorite pictures of in all of wrestling history, though.
Yeah.
It's evil Shawn Michaels with Luna Vachon.
Yeah. It says,
and that kicked off her feud, her with Sensational Sherry.
Right. It says how Harley Davidson people walk into places expecting people to give a fuck, even though nobody does. Oh man, that's so funny. Harley Davidson people, what a great observation. They literally like roll up like anyone gives two shits about the fact that you're a leather daddy.
My favorite is when there's like a bunch of bikes pulled into the parking lot of like the fucking Oaks Gourmet on Franklin.
Yeah, this guy's eating a fucking pancetta.
Dogs. Yeah, like is Macy here? The fucking old dogs.
He's like, hey, excuse me, I need a. Do any of your reds go with an aged brie? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then he buys a fucking bottle of wine. He straps it into the babe seat.
You have shredded Manchego. I'm looking for a block Manchego. Do you have that? I'm willing to wait for it.
All I remember is I did one improv scene back in New York. It was like me and Neil Casey. I don't remember what it was, but something like a Ruru show, and I was explaining that the back seat of a motorcycle is, I call that the babe seat.
Uh-huh.
I was like, yeah, it's the babe seat. He's like, what are you talking about? You know, the babe seat. That's for where the babe goes.
Right,
you know?
right.
He's like, do you mean the back seat or whatever? I remember this like, yeah, but like only babes sit there. You're not gonna, you don't want a guy sit there or whatever. Like, anyway.
Right. Well, it is. They call it. What do they
call it?
The bitch seat.
It's called the bitch seat.
Yeah, by motorcycle people.
Maybe I was a biker in my past life.
Yeah, that's why
I should have known better, dude.
That's why you hate Karrion Kross so much, because it resonates as your biker self.
I almost
your
like
shadow.
Karrion Kross now.
Your biker shadow.
Okay. All right. So let's get into some wrestling stuff. Okay, ready? I got a lot to say. Okay. Yo, one thing. My hat is annoying me right now. Hold on. All right, folks. All right, I said something on the podcast last week that I believe to be possibly untrue, and it's kind of mind-blowing, which is that more I read about this, there actually is a very good possibility of Daniel Bryan going to AEW.
Really?
The more I understand of this situation.
How deep in the dirts are you?
Oh, it's getting filthy. You know? I mean, because I had talked to someone and they were telling me like they think it could happen. And then I started looking to some of these articles about his contract, and it's like, yo, not only does he not have a compete clause, he has no compete clause, and he's clearly, they're saying he's under no contract, nothing now.
Really? I bet you that was the only way they would have him come back, because if he's not contracted, they're not responsible for anything if he hurt himself again.
Maybe. Yeah, okay. So now I'm seeing another article saying, that they're optimistic, but I read another article. Listen, who fucking knows?
First of all, article is putting it pretty heavy. Article. Are there 180 words on this page total?
This is a 30 word article here.
Yeah.
Mostly pictures. A lot of advertisements, as my grandfather would call them. Yeah, who fucking knows? But it sounds like they're optimistic.
A lot of ads for people that doctors hate and people that like nutritionists can't stand. Those kinds of websites.
Yeah, it's a lot about like, what's that plant called? Like ginkgo biloba. Like,
yeah,
it's a lot of like, you want some ginkgo?
Yeah.
Is your dick not working? Why don't you rub some ginkgo on it?
Ginkgo biloba.
What is it? Isn't it called that? What's a ginkgo biloba? That's a real thing, right?
No.
It's ginkgo biloba, bro. Adrian, my dick doesn't work.
You're pretty close.
Yeah.
You're pretty close.
You gotta get your gut biome.
It's ginkgo biloba.
Yo, give me some fucking ginkgo biloba.
Hey, you got your ginkgo biloba. You gotta keep your gut biome in check.
Hey,
what's your gut? What's your lactobacillus like in your gut? You gotta get that ginkgo biloba. It improves your memory too. It's good stuff.
Well, this article about Daniel Bryan is 90% ginkgo biloba. But anyway, so I guess we can't really trust it.
It sounds like the son of a mob boss.
Listen to you, my only son, ginkgo biloba. My oldest son, ginkgo.
Ginkgo.
To you, I give you all of this, and the responsibility lies heavy on the shoulders of you, my oldest son, Ginkgo.
Can you believe boss gave Ginkgo the whole family?
Ginkgo's taking over. There goes the family.
I'm not taking orders from Ginkgo.
I ain't listening to Ginkgo.
We're doing great.
Oh. All right, Ginkgo.
Ginkgo Balboa.
Head over to the Tanis family.
That's your fucking...
This is offensive to my people.
No, I'm Italian, bro.
I'm a POC, a person of carbonara.
Hey, Macarena. Shame. All right. We're talking about wrestling. I'm saying that, look, listen, Daniel Bryan, 39 years old, right? There's no way there's not a part of him that's like, yo, let me go wrestle in the Tokyo Dome. Let me go wrestle Kenny, So I kind of see it. I said it like there's no chance, but I kind of feel like there's a little bit of a chance. And I'm just calling it now that I don't think it's impossible.
Wow. I mean,
I'd
be excited for it. I'd watch a lot more AEW, I think.
Yeah. But it's, anyway, we'll see. All right. So we'll see what happens there. Now, in terms of, let's just jump over to SmackDown. Well, you already brought up Eva Marie. So while we already talked about it, I don't know why she's goes this high up in the show, but like, I don't even know. Is Eva Marie going to come back as a wrestler? Didn't she like barely wrestle last time?
Yeah. I mean,
and so is she come back maybe as like a manager? I mean, the best thing to do is manager, but even from her taped promos, she has no charisma.
Right. I think the funniest thing to me is that the whole gimmick is evolution, and I would bet $100 that she doesn't believe in evolution.
I mean, how many Lucians do we need? You know what I mean? Like, it's so much Lucian. You know what I mean?
Evolution, revolution, Lucian Greaves, the famous Satanist.
It's always like, oh, it's a revolution, it's an evolution. It's like, it's like, well, guys, like, stop reinventing everything. Just be like,
Ushins have like a forward moving feel, so it always feels like it's an action word,
Yeah. All right, good shit going on in wrestling. Let's head over to Smack It Down. Do I have the SmackDown song? I always forget that. I think I do, and I never know where it is. All right, I'll look for it. But so interesting enough.
And after that, I'm going straight to hell. Enjoy the show.
Will we ever know what that was about?
Like
Did Jeff Hardy just say that out of nowhere?
It was for probably Hell in a Cell, and he probably thought that he didn't have as much time as he did and tried to wrap it up. That's my guess.
Yeah. All right. So Jimmy Uso back on SmackDown, and they pulled a really smart. Listen, all the range stuff is really fun. This was a really smart way to bring back Jimmy. And most importantly, I want to point out that the coolest thing that they did was that they didn't let it go what happened what happened with him last. They reminded me when did we see Jimmy last? Right?
Right.
And if you remember, it was when Jay said I quit when Roman was tapping out Jimmy. Right?
Right.
And so, in the I Quit match, and then Jimmy comes out. He's happy to join the family, but then this was like one of their best things they've done in a while. Let's go through every beat of it. Jimmy comes back and is excited to join up with Reigns and Jay and Heyman, but then they have Cesaro and Rollins have that match, and in that Rollins is being a dick. So Jimmy super kicks him, and then that gives Cesaro the match essentially because Cesaro's able to beat Rollins and then go wrestle Reigns at Backlash this weekend. So then Reigns gives Jimmy shit, and then Jimmy's like, "Yo, I'm not gonna take shit for this guy." You know what I mean? Like this guy's out for himself. And then now he's trying to convince Jay throughout the show. He's like, "Yo, I'm not gonna stop like super kicking a dude who fucking pisses me off or gets in my way. Like I don't like work for this guy, our cousin. This is a guy who tapped me out. He's like, this guy's and then Jay's argument is like, we're better with him.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like with him as the Universal Champion, as the head of the table, it elevates us, And so they're having a twin argument over the same thing, which is fucking great.
Yeah.
They're running back what worked with Jay. Just do it again with Jimmy with more nuance. And we'll see Jay be conflicted. We know inevitably they're all going to be together because it's just a clear move, right? But it's great storytelling. Then
it's almost Shakespearean.
Yeah, it is. And they weave in Rollins as well because Rollins is like, yo, control your family or I will. It's like an outside force. And you see Reigns actually what is his role as the head of this group, the head of the table? It's like, well, now they have an outside force coming in and he has to handle that. Which is Rollins, who's like, I'm going to beat the shit out of these guys. Well, no, I'll handle this. So we prevent a war with the Rollins clan. You know what I mean? And you're like, this was just and it was a story throughout the show. It opened the show and then closed the show was Roman talking to Jimmy. So I was like, man, I love this. Really, really, really fun, really vested in it. And you're watching Roman kind of you're watching what it means to be this role. It's an actual thing. This acknowledge me is a real thing that he's asking for. He's like, Jimmy, I need you to acknowledge me. Being under my wing, you get certain protections and blah, blah, blah. It elevates all of us. Mm-hmm. It makes the family stronger. It's great wrestling soap shit. It's awesome. I love it. Not to mention Heyman doing manual dings for the 10 bell salute. So ding, ding, very fun. Heyman's he's such a peripheral role with this Roman things. It's very fucking fun. Now, one thing I want to point out is Roman Reigns' sneaker game is. I wish I was more of a sneaker guy. I used to be. Maybe we talked to Hassan about it. But I would love to know the work. Reigns is wearing a fresh pair of kicks every show now. He's never repeating a pair. And he wears all black. He also comes out with a new t-shirt every week. It's the same font and everything. But this was acknowledge me. Last week's stack them, smash them, pin them.
Yeah. Boil them, mash them, put them in a stew.
But man, Roman Reigns fired all cylinders. He has that haircut. He has such a hot guy haircut. You know.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Damn it! Here we
Let's
go.
do it.
It's the hot day detour. The hot day detour.
Yo, he's got the long hair,
Yeah.
but then a full shave up to here.
Right.
It looks so money. That is a fucking great look. If you could pull that off, which, folks, I'll give you a little hint. I can't. I cannot pull it off. Newman, can you pull that off?
No.
Phil Pasapani in the booth. Can you pull that off?
Absolutely not.
No. Tullo might be able to pull that off. Maybe we get Tullo to get that haircut. No?
I mean,
Can we get Tullo to acknowledge the Roman Reigns haircut as his tribal chief? As his haircut of choice?
probably. He would do it.
I'm going to text him right now.
Do it.
All right. I'll get you guys updates on here. Tullo.
He probably won't.
We need you to
because
get the
of
Roman
his-
Reigns haircut.
He
Cool?
won't because of his Seth Rollins thing.
This is the text I just sent him out of nowhere. I RKO'd him.
Uh-huh.
We need you to get the Roman Reigns haircut. Cool? With a question mark.
RK.
We need this. We need it. Let's see what he says. Okay. But that shit's really good. Other thing that's good on SmackDown was I mean, I enjoyed the Ziggler Dominic segment.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hold on. I said the undercut. Yes. Isn't it undercut, would you call?
Yeah,
it is
yeah,
an
yeah.
undercut, yeah. Yes, but exactly like Roman. Will you acknowledge that haircut? Will you acknowledge that haircut? Will you acknowledge that haircut as your tribal chief? He says, I'm getting a haircut tomorrow.
Change it up.
Okay, let's see if what he says. All right, this is great, guys. This is great. Okay. Yeah, and the Ziggler side was fun. I mean, they had Dominic beat him or whatever, but I thought it was a good segment. They're clearly building up. They're trying to build up the Mysterios, probably to take the titles off of Rude and Ziggler, but maybe I don't know, who cares about the tag title, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, the main thing is that SmackDown did old school SmackDown, which I don't have much of a comment on. Like, there wasn't that much to it, really. It just kind of like looked a little different, and they had like some of the old music, but it was fun. They had Teddy Long come back. I always pop for Teddy Long booking matches with The Undertaker. I always think it's funny. But I don't know. It didn't really I don't have much to say about it. It was fine. But that was really all of it from SmackDown that did anything for me. Now, in terms of Raw, couple things to point out in Raw. One thing is the best part of the show is wait, I got an audio recording from Tullo. Hold on. Let's see what he said. I acknowledge Roman Reigns' haircut as my tribal chief. Wow, guys, hold on. Tullo just messaged me.
Yeah, but
I acknowledge Roman Reigns' haircut as my tribal chief.
Wow. Does that mean you're getting it?
does that mean you're getting it?
Okay. All right. RK Bro is very fun on Raw. It's a really fun use.
It's working.
This company really still relying on Randy. I mean, it's crazy. Like, Randy, if he probably had the most losses of whatever, of anyone, blah, blah, blah. No. But he had a lot of big losses this year. But that title picture right now is a fucking snooze. I mean, you have Braun, Bobby, and Drew, and no one cares about it. I mean, no, there's not any heart behind this thing. It's just a match that's going to happen, and they keep trying to sell it. It's like, man, I mean, I don't care about that match at all going into it. I'll also go as far to say they got a couple of tough things going on because Mick Foley was talking about strapping the Rocket to Rhea Ripley, right?
Yeah.
He's like, yo, when she comes up, they got to just strap the Rocket to her. I'm starting to realize and think about that. Like, just giving somebody the title is not necessarily strapping a rocket to them anymore.
Right.
You know,
right.
because it's like Rhea's the champion, but she doesn't feel like the champion to me. Like,
Right.
no knock to her or anything. Like, she's completely earned it. And I would have done the same thing having her beat Asuka at Mania. It was the smart move. But, like, it hasn't elevated her status in my mind. Like, she hasn't cut a promo I care about. She hasn't connected with the crowd in any meaningful way. I know we have the Thunderdome still, so it's really hard to do that. But ultimately, you know, I don't see Rhea Ripley as a higher status as the champion in a weird way. Like, Charlotte is the Raw Women's Champion to me, even though she doesn't have the title.
Right.
Just because it's so clear what level she's on. That's what dawned on me from watching this week. You know, where you're like, they have to invest in these characters connecting with the audience. It doesn't necessarily need to be right. They don't have the full crowd, but like they did an okay job with Drew. When Drew was the champion, I felt like you understood him as a dude. Like you kind of knew where he was coming from. He played up like, yo, I'm the pandemic champion, you know?
Right.
And he would put his hand to the camera, like, you know, he told his story about I got fired and then I came back and now it's all hard work and, you know, I don't take this shit lightly anymore. I was fucking up. You got him as a guy. Rhea Ripley, we don't understand as a character at all. So her deal is she's looks cool and is the champion. And then it's not necessarily not enough, but as the titles in WWE become less and less important, when you have a ton of like paper champions or what, you know, paper champions it's not the term I want. But it's like scripted champions, like gender champions.
Right.
It being the champion matters less. Now, especially with someone like, it's like Bianca's the champion also. And like, yeah, she won the title at Mania and I like Bianca, but I'm still waiting for Bianca to like have her moment, you know, which makes kind of no sense. Like she killed it in that match. But then when I watch her cut these promos, I'm like, when will you become the champion? Drew is the best example because I think Drew really he became the WWE champion. Whereas like Bobby is not becoming that at all for me at all, you know? And they need to write better for the women. Because Bianca Belair cuts this promo that's like just being like, I'm the best, I'm the like that same deal, which is like, get out of my face, Bailey. But then I was like, oh, Bailey's more fun in this. Like I was like, Bailey's coming away as the winner of this for me.
Right.
Yeah. Wow. Tullo said he will get this haircut, and he sent a picture, which is the exact. Look at that. That's the haircut.
Whoa.
I'm telling him. I'm on air right now.
Wow. That's huge.
I'm going to lock it in. Should we lock it in?
Lock it in.
Anyway, it's okay. It's a lull week. It was a lot of like 8-man tags and shit. It was, you know, it was fine. But RK Bro is what I was talking about, which is a notable segment because it was very fun. It was like back to Randy. He's with Riddle. He's like having fun with it, but he's still being himself, where he's like, he still can't help RKOing every single person in the ring. And Riddle's like, what the? They got their third win, and Riddle's like, yo, what are you doing, man?
Yeah.
What did he say? Like,
line, he's like, Randy, how are we supposed to have friends if you keep doing stuff like this?
He's concerned with having friends. Riddle's just being very funny. It's working. It's really fun. And clearly they'll go to an AJ Almost match. Like, that's a cool match. AJ Almost. That's maybe one of the tag matches I've cared about in like one of the very few in a long, long time, right?
Yeah.
So I really dig that. AJ had a goatee this week, and he didn't just have a goatee. He called out, yo, I see you're staring at my face. Yeah, that's right. I got a goatee now.
I missed that.
This is the beauty of AJ Styles. He's like, yo, I got a goatee now, man. I was trying to look good. Fucking, he sounded like Kenny Powers, you know?
Yeah. That's basically who he is.
Yeah. He really is, right?
Yeah.
He's kind of, but like less, like more Christian, like two values. He has too many values.
Right. But he's definitely an Eastbound and Down character.
Yeah. Yo, this is how lull times are right now. Yo, did you see Garza's new gimmick of putting roses up people's asses?
No, I mean, yes. I haven't like seen it in person though.
So what he does is like you lay down, he puts a rose in your trunks, like lifts up your trunks, puts a rose in there, and then does like a running kick to your ass where it's like it implies like it went up your asshole, I guess, right?
Right. And then the thorns, I guess, are problematic in that situation.
I don't know.
What's
tell you what, I didn't hate it. But it was definitely a goofy. It's definitely a goofy choice.
It's weird. One rose? Just one?
He puts a he'll have you laying on the ground, then he like a kid if you're like want to like pull down like to like wipe a kid's ass, but he puts a rose in there and then he just fucking kicks you in the ass. Rose goes up your ass.
And that's his finish?
Oh, I got Tullo. Let's see what he says.
I will get the Roman Reigns undercut haircut because I acknowledge the Roman Reigns haircut undercut as my tribal chief. Okay? I'm getting it tomorrow.
Wow. Nick Tullo's new entrance music, folks. This is a good podcast.
I
just convinced him to get a haircut. It's a beautiful thing.
Why was he so upset?
I don't know. I don't. Why was he so upset?
What did you say to him?
Oh man, yo. Tullo's gonna get the haircut. Acknowledge Tullo's haircut as your tribal chief. You think it's gonna look good on Tullo or what? Phil, you think it's gonna look good?
Yeah, I think he'll pull it off.
Tullo's a handsome guy, you know?
Yeah, and his look, he already is sort of he has an extreme look anyway. So
yeah.
it'll work.
Yeah, I mean, he's got that Life Rips tattoo. You know?
Yeah.
So
he's a human can of White Claw.
Yo, all right, let's look at this WrestleMania Backlash. I don't have anything else to say about Raw or SmackDown this week. Let's look at this WrestleMania. Let's look at this Backlash card. A lot of people are complaining about what's going on with Alexa Bliss. My thing with the Alexa Bliss thing is like I'm not necessarily sure it's not working. It's just like without the Fiend, it's like
it's toothless.
I don't even understand. Like the Fiend, I don't know why they undercut him entirely. Like he was burnt up, so it said nothing. Then he came back at Mania, and then they covered him up, and then he lost because of Alexa, and then he was gone again. And you're like, he cut like a couple of promos in the Funhouse. But you're like, it's just not a very fun use of Bray Wyatt. I mean, how many months off does he need? Like, what's going on with him?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's him or
maybe he's got like a health issue or some shit. I'm like, what's going on? Damian Priest versus The Miz in a lumberjack match this weekend. You know, Damian Priest is going to hit a ceiling here because he has not established himself as. It makes it interesting with him. He's now just like the Archer of Infamy. He has a nonsense gimmick when he's trying to play to like a big TV audience.
Right.
Whereas like Matt Riddle, you understand. That's why he's working.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're like, I get it. He's kind of like an athletic, ripped like stoner dude, you know? And he's just trying to, but you're like, oh, I get it. Like Damian Priest is just, he's kind of all over the map for people. It's like, he's just in full on cool guy alley mode. And he's going to wrestle The Miz here and they'll probably give him a win, but Miz will outlast his career like he's done with everybody else, you know?
Right. Yeah. Well, it says like Riddle's rooted in a trope that is like bigger than wrestling. And Archer of Infamy
he's got this Spicoli thing going on.
Yeah. And Archer of Infamy is a very just wrestling thing. It can only exist in wrestling.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. I think Keith Lee has a chance of working also, when he comes back. I just don't know what's going on with him. My guess is we see Keith Lee come back with significant weight loss. You
think?
I think probably when he got COVID, Vince was like, I'm not going to book you on Mania. this is an opportunity for you to get in shape because you already sent it back to the Performance Center. So
Right.
I expect to see Keith Lee back with, to be honest, repackaged, like better music. I think they're going to like do him up right, you know?
Good.
That's what my guess is. We got the dirty Roman Reigns versus Cesaro. So here's the other thing. You know, this match makes the pay-per-view worth it for me. Like Roman Reigns Cesaro for the title, that's fucking awesome. Cesaro is killing it. I mean, his promo was whatever. His promo ain't great. I'm not sure exactly why they're giving him so much mic time, but he didn't blow it either, considering the work he can do. And he had a fun match against Rollins. So I'm really excited for this Cesaro. I hope they can, it's hard to see it with Cesaro because you're like, he definitely fails. Can you ever really give him a title? He can't beat Reigns here, obviously.
Right. No, I mean,
you just push him to IC level right after this.
Right. I think he should have it once. Like
the title, the title.
Yeah. And not for long, but just as sort of like a symbolic gesture of like how good he is.
Right. Well, that match will be sick. Especially, we'll see what happens with Jimmy and Jay. Dirty Dogs versus the Mysterio Bros. I mean, that'll be a fun match. I mean, they're building this feud nicely. I don't know. They let Dominic beat Ziggler this week, and I guess it was done well because it was like Ziggler was not taking him seriously, so that was fine. It's a fine segment, but yeah, I'll watch that match. I think that'll be good. The Mysterios sounds like a good idea on paper as tag champions. Just like, what does that really mean? I'm not sure.
Right.
Rhea Ripley versus Asuka versus Charlotte. I mean, that's an awesome match. It's clearly just a holdover match till the eventual Charlotte Rhea feud, right? Without Asuka involved. But man, oh man, Asuka just always is just her only thing is I'm saying ready for someone. I mean, it's like it's on repeat. Like it's like no one's ready for me, and then when she's facing someone, I'm ready for them.
Right.
They make her very one note, I'd be interested to see if there's a way to make Asuka a little more interesting. If she needs a mouthpiece, maybe try it just to see if you could do. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Or just let her speak Japanese.
I love her in Japanese. Why not just translate her?
Yeah.
Yeah,
she does feel like a little bit like unfocused energy, Like it's all kind of like always screamed in a different way or like
yeah. Anyway, then we got Bianca Belair versus Bayley, which that's just a way to get Bianca over. There's really nothing to say about that. And then you have a Lashley versus Drew versus Braun, which I think is just a Lashley retained match just to make it a triple threat. Nothing really to say about it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save something I was going to say in the bonus episode. I'm going to move on to it, which is I'm going to talk about this Blood and Guts match last week from AEW.
Oh, yeah.
So this Blood and Guts match, if you've seen it, I was going to talk about it in the bonus app, but then I didn't get to, and I was going to talk about it. We'll talk about it again probably on this week's bonus app, but the ending of that match, I mean, I don't know what's going on in AEW where they are botching finishes with these matches left and right. Like, this shit was terrible. Jericho, MJ, the match was, by the way, it was a blast. The match was really fun. It was a great time. It's a bloody mess. You see Sammy Guevara's head split open. Really fun time. You know him, this guy?
Sammy Guevara.
Yeah. But the ending of this match literally is Jericho and MJF on the top of the cage. MJF is Jericho's is like they're moving like as slow as possible to get into position. Then Jericho is standing on the side of the cage. Bless you. And then MJF pushes him off and he falls onto like so clearly a fucking pad. Like it looked so fucking bad. And you're like, guys, you don't need these spots. Like, don't just put these spots in for the spectacle of it if they're going to look like trash,
Yeah, I don't normally mind pads. Was it like especially egregious?
So what they did was they tried to put like metal plates over it, but then when he went through it, you could clearly see they weren't metal plates. They just had like a veneer of like metal plastic on top that like looked kind of like that. And then also the platform wasn't just level with the stage. It was just clearly this like random platform. You're like, why is this even here?
Right.
And then the camera angles were so bad. You saw Jericho and MJF talking to each other on top of the cage. It was like a really wimpy push, like a really controlled like push of Jericho off, and it's like it was atrocious. It made the ending of it ruined this match, and it's just you can't help but be like the same as when they didn't have the fireworks. The difference between this was like, all right, well, the fireworks thing I said was kind of like a physical error, like the stuff didn't just go off, you know. This was like, yo, guys, like this is a more of a mental error where you're like, that we know that's not going to look good to have just a very clear platform and then have Jericho fall on it. It looks like he fell onto a beautiful bed, you know?
Right.
I mean, it was so not dangerous what happened, you know?
Right.
And I think even from the terms of like, yo, well, listen, if a casual viewer might turn this on and be like, well, that was cool. He fell off the cage, right? Even for a casual viewer, if you saw this, you'd be like, that was so dumb.
Yeah.
Most people are willing to fall onto cushions, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it looked terrible. And it was such a bummer because the match was like pretty fucking fun. You know? But yeah, I mean, I don't really know what was going on there. I don't know. I really was like, guys, I don't know how they fix that. I'm not sure what their process is over there. I get with the production, sometimes your camera angles, that stuff's really hard. So they had the two of them talking, you know? But this was like, you knew this platform, you saw it, just call an audible on it. Just be like, yo, let's finish it in the ring. Because they were doing spots in the ring where you're like, any of these could just be the end of the match. It's okay. You don't necessarily need to have a Foley Taker style fall, you know?
Right.
Which obviously they weren't willing to do. So I don't know. For me, it like took me out of it. I'm pretty sure most people felt exactly the same way about it. But for the first Blood and Guts, a very good time. I loved it. They were both teams were like color coordinated. Santana and Ortiz had dead presidents paint on their face, which looked really fucking cool. They looked awesome. The Pinnacle was all in like white. They looked cool. Some really cool spots. Sammy Guevara and Sean Spears did like a cool Spanish fly spot from one rope onto the next rope. That was very cool. It was a really great fun match with just a bullshit ending. MJF looked awesome. He was bleeding. I'll never get tired of the bleeding. But yeah, geez. I don't know. I don't know what the hell happened there, folks. Anyway, basically everything I fucking got for this week. I mean, I had some other shit in here, but it's not even worth talking about. We got to all the good shit. We already had a good time. Didn't we, Newman? No, Newman. Wow, he's walking away. We got Tullo to get a haircut. That's fine. We're getting out of here. We're getting out of here, guys. I'm hungry.
We did have a good time.
We had a good time. I'm hungry. But yeah, we're deep in lull times, Daddy, on Raw. SmackDown's in fun-ass lull times where you get a Cesaro-Roman Reigns feud. That's going to be a great time. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited for that. But, Jinder Mahal's back. That's my other note. Jinder Mahal's back. And I really don't have much to say about that either, except for it's very clear that he got the, like, Rock gyno surgery. He got like his the fat sucked out of his from juicing out of his pecs, and it looks a lot better. You know,
good for him, man.
So good for him, man. Good for him. You got to juice up. Sometimes you gotta hit the surgery. Anyway, that's all we're gonna say this week. But we'll see you guys Sunday because this pay-per-view doesn't look that great, but a lot of times pay-per-views that have bad cards tend to over-deliver. Like if Cesaro wins the title. You know, that'll be like, you know, I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility. You have the Jimmy interrupt. There's ways to do it, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
That could be pretty fun. Daniel Bryan going to AEW could be a possibility, which would be pretty fucking fun, though I don't expect to see him if he's going to do that till crowds come back. RK Bro is a good time, leads to an actual tag feud that we might care about, and Angel Garza's putting fucking roses up his ass. So, you know, what else could you ask for, folks? All right, we're going to get out of here, everybody. But remember, Count Movie Club will come back next week with that Bruce Willis movie with Lana that we're going to watch. And we also have another episode planned for you. We might put out 2 Count Movie Club episodes next week. I just got to coordinate with the crew. The Thunderdome will be Sunday. We're watching WrestleMania Backlash on the Calzoom Thunderdome this Sunday, the 16th. And the Nicole BYER episode will come out on Monday, the 17th. Tax day, baby. That's the tax filing deadline, if you don't know that, for this year because of the extension. That we'll put out me and Nicole BYER talking about which wrestler she will bone, and talked a lot about John Cena, her experience working with John Cena. She does a John Cena impression that's pretty funny. And we're getting the most important thing really that I want you guys to take away from this podcast is that we're getting just like days and days closer to the evolution. So everyone prepare yourself for the evolution, batten down the hatches. You know,
look, you've had plenty of time to prepare for this. Everyone's been talking about it non-stop.
It's on you at this point.
This is the most talked about return in wrestling history. And if you haven't heard and you're not ready, that's on you.
I agree. I've never agreed with anything more in my entire life, and I've never agreed with anything ever. All right, everybody. We're getting out of here. We'll see you guys on the next podcast. And after that, we're going straight to hell. Everybody, kisses. And keep watching wrestling. Kisses. Cheers up.